Vince McMahon Jr., who we know as Vince McMahon, his father, Vince Sr., he felt he had his spirit with him when he welcomed the crowd to WrestleMania 3 from the Detroit's Pontiac Silverdome. He went, "Here in the Silverdome, welcome to WrestleMania 3. Here to sing America the Beautiful, the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin." Terrible imitation, but Vince must have felt on top of the world, because picture it. You're this young promoter, you raided the territories against your father's wishes, by the way. You have all the stars. Your first 2 WrestleManias broke circuit television, pay-per-view, box office records. You held the Mania from 3 different locations. You're everywhere, and now you're in front of 93,000 fans, and you got one of the best cards for that time ahead of you, and you're welcoming everyone to the show with your dad's spirit. I mean, how emotional. If Vince wasn't in the euphoria before the event, he would have been during the event and after the event. If he could light up a smoke after that event, he probably would have had it made, and I'm sure he did, or a Cuban or anything, something like that. Anyways, let's get to the WrestleMania show. But before we do that, my name is Brett Mix. This is Macho Wrestling 101, and please hit like and subscribe if you like these videos. We'll be pumping out WrestleMania reviews each day, as well as a match of the day review. We do countdowns, and we also review the Raw, SmackDown live pay-per-view from here on out. So, plus breaking news stories if the news story is big enough. So please hit subscribe. It would help me get my channel going, and thank you for the 32 of you of this recording who have. It's only been open for a week or so, so I consider that pretty good, considering I don't have the fancy equipment that I will get one day. So yeah, thank you for doing that. So let's get to WrestleMania 3. The Can-Am Connection, Tom Zank and Rick Martel, they took on the team of Cowboy Bob Orton and the Magnificent Morocco, Don Morocco, who used to go by the name The Rock, Mr. Fuji in their corner. Standard tag action, frequent tags, isolating their half of the ring. This one went at a quick pace, and whenever the faces got any offense, like a drop kick, a crossbody, a clothesline, the fans went nuts. So it's really impressive to see how many times the little things in 1987 get a pop. Just at any time when the offense is fairly good guy, or the faces, I should say, they get a big pop. So they won the match at 5:37 with a cradle, and then at the second, so I give that 2.5 stars. The second match was a full Nelson match between Billy Jack Haynes, who Heenan called Billy Jerk Haynes, and that was pretty creative. No, I can't knock the brain. He's amazing. And he was in Hercules' corner, and Hercules cut a promo before the match as if he was Hercules about 5,000 years ago when he took down the Roman Empire. Or something like that. The match ended with Billy Jack Haynes. It was actually a decent match for the time. Like, it wasn't a technical match, but it was actually going at a decent pace. But it was a little bit too long, and the ending was kind of shit. Billy Jack Haynes had a full Nelson slapped on, and he was outside the ring, so it had to be a disqualification. So that's the only bad part of this match. The fact that the ending happened at 7:44 and was a double count out. Next, we had Hillbilly Jim with the Heidi Kid and Little Beaver. Little Beaver's popular among the little people. Defeated King Kong Bundy, Little Tokyo, and Lord Littlebrook. There's a wrestler called Lord Littlebrook as a midget wrestler. That's just funny. Lord Littlebrook. That's just, what a name. This match was infamous. It's only lasted 3:25, and King Kong Bundy was disqualified for slamming one of the midgets. I give that match a 0.5 star, and I give Billy Jack Haynes versus Hercules, I forgot to mention, a 1.5 stars. So 2 stars and a half, a 1.5 stars, and 3/4 star I'm going to give the midget match, now that I think about it. Harley Race, the king of wrestling, with Bobby Heenan, took on the Junkyard Dog next. This one, JYD was so over, but other than that, Harley Race was way past his prime. He couldn't do anything in there worthy of Harley Race, the legend. Harley Race won though by disqualification, or no, he won by pinfall when the scepter was used on the JYD, and at 422 he was the victor. The Dream Team took on the Rougeau brothers, and this was actually a decent tag for 4 minutes long. I gave it 2.5 stars. They left Beefcake in the ring at the end with Johnny Valiant, Dino Bravo. They left Brutus Beefcake, who was with Greg Valentine, his partner, who also abandoned him. So that was the end of the Dream Team. And not only that, the Beefcake would turn face into the next match, because that match was 2 stars. And then in the next match, Roddy Piper defeated Adrian Adonis with Jimmy Hart. And after the match, Brutus Beefcake, came out and would cut the hair of Adonis, the loser. And this was supposed to be Piper's goodbye farewell match, but instead it was a forgotten gem. The crowd was hot once he got Adonis in the sleeper. The late Adrian Adonis. Piper won. I give that 3 stars. And then Brutus Beefcake became the barber as he cut his hair. Now the night, you can see the night sky coming from the Silver Dome as Dangerous Danny Davis teamed up with Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, the Hart Foundation. They defeated Tito Santana and who accompanied the British Bulldogs, who were the champions, all the way from last year's WrestleMania and that classic match with the Dream Team. This was a good match, not great, good for the event. I rated 2 stars and 3/4 because I had the bar set high. Had the bar not been set high, maybe this would be a 3.5 star match, but I have the bar set high for these guys. Hart Foundation, Bulldogs, WrestleMania. So I rated 2 stars, 3/4, still a decent rating. It was a good enough tag match, but in the end, it was the megaphone that got the Hart Foundation the victory. Dangerous Danny Davis hit the megaphone, and one of the Bulldogs went down at 8:52, and the Hart Foundation were victorious. This is a 6-man tag. Butch Reed with Slick defeated Coco Beware at 3:39, and I just gotta say about this match, you're going into Savage Steamboat after this, and you have this match, a slow pace, 1-on-1. Butch Reed and Coco Beware were great in other territories, so I'm not knocking them, but this was just a slow match. I give it a star, just because they tried. Basically, that's it. The next match you might have heard about, Steamboat with George Steele defeated Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth by pinfall at 14:35. Just your standard Intercontinental title match. 23 near falls in the span of 14 minutes. Just everything two guys could do in the ring, following the storyline that was epic on the grandest stage of them all in front of 93,000 fans. Just offense here, offense outside of the ring. Offense over the top rope, offense in the ring, on the apron, on the barricade, on the floor, in the ring. I heard that Macho Man wrote on Post-its, sequence by sequence. I would not deny that. He was really meticulous. And Steamboat gets emotional when talking about this match. He says that everybody just remembers that match. It was a moment in time. If that phrase ever could fit something, it would phrase that. It was a moment in time for this match. It was just, it looks back, it holds up today. A lot of fans just don't understand. If you're a fan that thinks it's overrated like a few other fans, watch, I beg you, it takes 5 minutes. Don't watch the match, even though it's short and it deserves to be watched in its entirety, but watch the 5-minute clip match of it. Watch how many things they actually do in the match. It's unbelievable. It happens so quick that you miss it all. But look at what they did. The substance. This match is right there. 5 stars with Flair and Steamboat. I don't care what anyone says. It went half the length of the Flair and Steamboat Wrestle War match, but they did just as many things as Flair and Steamboat, if not more. I guarantee you that. Go watch the clip version. And if you do love the match, you know what I'm talking about. 5 stars. The Honky Tonk Man defeated Jake the Snake Roberts with Alice Cooper by pinfall. So now you have to follow Savage Steamboat. That's hard for anyone. So I give this match a 1.5 stars. They tried. Honky Tonk Man won at 7:04, and then Damien was out. The fans loved that at the end. Sheik and Volkov were in a great tag team match the year before, or 2 years before at WrestleMania, but they defeated the Killer Bees here in a standard tag match, Jim Renzel and Brian Blair. They did it by DQ when Hacksaw Jim Duggan came out with a 2x4 and hit the Sheik, or Volkov, or both. Either way, they won by DQ at 5:44, so it's good to have a couple matches before the main event. And here's the main event. I rate that tag match, by the way, a star. Here's the main event. Hulk Hogan defeated Andre the Giant with Bobby Heenan to retain the title at 12:01 after a big power slam and a leg drop, and Hulk Hogan remained champion, the first man to defeat Andre the Giant in kayfabe in almost 2 decades, or ever. Whatever they said. So that was the event, and it had a special vibe the entire time. You felt like you were watching a big show the entire time. No matches dragged. Everything was quick and to the point. If anything, a lot of matches could have got more time. It was a good card when you look back. If you compare it to other WrestleManias that they stack, it's not going to hold up, but it holds up when you compare it to the early WrestleManias around it. It's a classic WrestleMania. It's not going to make a top 5 list on most lists, but I think it should make top 10 lists. For how historic those 2 matches were. Andre Hogan, Savage Steamboat. It's not the only things on the show either. There's other gems on the show, as I just went over. But I give it an 8 out of 10. So let's see you on WrestleMania 4 or 5, and we'll have fun with this. Thank you for watching the WrestleMania Anthology. That's WrestleMania 3. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out. That's 8 out of 10 for WrestleMania 3.